Hello, Internet. Now, I should note before we start, our normal Mario Monday stream will still happen at the normal time. This is gonna last for an hour to an hour and a half. Then I'm going to go quick, eat some lunch, come back, and we're gonna do Mario Monday. But I felt like playing Luxor because Trickster asked me a question in Discord. Aw, that's unfortunate. Trickster asked me to put some points towards 100% Luxor 2. Which led me to realize there isn't really much that we aren't doing to 100% Luxor 2 right now, so, like, I mean, not really a reason not to... Oh, you know what I can do? I can copy-paste this in the one spot that I don't usually copy-paste these. Just because it is a Sphere Matchers game. Where is it? Videos. I don't actually have my usual copy pasta ready because I totally forgot about doing this until right now. So let me just go grab that. And then I'll continue talking like I didn't just interrupt myself for a moment. Shush. That didn't happen. Okay, there we go. I have posted it in the Sphere Matching Discord. We good. I haven't played this since the last time we played it, which was like 2 or 3 months ago. So, this is gonna go terribly. But yeah, Mario Mondays at the regular time in 2 hours and 10 minutes. This is just a chill thing. We're gonna keep the random music running throughout the stream. Just because, like, yeah, okay, I like the Luxor music. It's fun. But it's a bit samey, and, like, it's a bit constant, and so we're just gonna... Random music. We'll have all the sound effects, of course, but... What was the other thing I was saying? But, oh, Trickster asked me to put some points onto 100% Luxor 2, which led me to go, wait, before I do that, is there anything actually, other than what we're doing to 100% Luxor 2, to which the answer is kind of no. The only thing that's there is Challenge of Horse, which might become a separate goal later, but for the moment, the goal is just gone for now, because I realized that's 2,000 points for basically nothing. I'll rethink that goal over the next bit. Hello, Crushy, how are you? Let me click this button. Hello, game. My camera has a lot of stuff over top of it today. Because we have the death counter above and the music there, which means I apologize for my hand gestures being... I apologize for my hand gestures being, like, covered by the music bit. Yeah, I know, I'm going, shush. Oh, that's good, Trickster. Okay. Okay, I was like, but I have a save game. Why is it not continuing? Because you have to click adventure first. That would be why it didn't continue. So, let's actually talk while I play. Because he asked, I opened the game to see what all was available for, like, bonus stuff and 100% kind of things. And realized that there wasn't much there, so... But, in the process of opening the game, I was like, but I want to play Luxor now. So we're just gonna suddenly do this as bonus, because why not? And if Speedy sees the fact that he missed another Luxor stream, he's gonna be slightly upset, but I don't really care. That's his loss. Yeah, blame Trickster, basically. That's... He's not wrong. It is all his fault. If the game needs to be up a bit, or sound effects need to be up a bit or something, just ask, and I'll go tweak the volumes. I have adjusted the audio system. So, the audio system alerts And anything like that will suddenly be much louder. Hopefully they won't be too loud. If they are, say something. No, I'm not going for 100% accuracy. To heck with that. More of a getting all the possible, like, things and badges and stuff. And I realized that all the badges in this game, once you get past the stuff that I'll get playing it through normally, is just going to be, like, a lot of the same thing that would be really boring to watch me go for. So I decided not to. That's what I meant by 100%. That's what the goal was for that. But no, I'm not that good. I could be that good eventually. However, at this point, I'm not that good. I'm not gonna pretend that I'm really good at this game when I'm, like, kind of okay at this game. Welcome, Stage 1310 to the stream. How are you doing today? How's everybody doing today? I don't know what are you talking about, Trickster? Other than suddenly screaming, because I did notice that. Yeah, agreed. There's a lot of levels in this game that are fun. That took the game longer than I thought it would for it to... Oh, okay. You're doing a word search. That is a touch of relevant context that would have been nice to know. Yeah, welcome to the stream. I hope you enjoy. I've always liked these kinds of games, and I actually started out streaming these. Because that's what I was, like, obsessed with at the time when I started streaming. What is my favorite level in Luxor 2? This is a hard question. Especially since I haven't played the game in like a month. Or two. That probably doesn't help with the whole knowing levels off the top of my head. By what metric, I guess, is a good question. By, like, level design? Like, gimmicks and stuff? Or, like, how they made the level? Or by playing it? Because I think those are probably two separate answers. This is a hard question. It's a lot of good levels in this game. There are also a few bad levels in this game. But it's not really the question now, is it? Oh. Yes, thank you, Trickster, for being the Discord bot, even though I've asked you not to. Level design in general. I think the one with the... I don't remember the name of it. The one with the statues. The big statues, where it's a two-path level. And, it goes around the statues as the path. That one, I think, is cool. I don't like playing it as much, because it's annoying for some reasons. But I think it looks cool, and I think it was a good concept. It probably could have been done better, but it was cool as a level as an idea. That's the word I'm looking for. There we go. How enjoyable it is to me. That is a much different question. And now I need to think. I know you're not spamming it, but still. How did I get all of that? I don't actually know. That's a good question. Because there's a lot of levels that are, like, very similar in, like, how they play. So it's a bit more difficult than it would be otherwise. also, if I go, what the heck is this music, I may skip the song, but that may occasionally happen. Hopefully it won't happen too much. I don't know if I have a favorite level off the top of my head that I like to play. They're all fairly good. Like, with a couple of exceptions, they're all fairly fun to play. They did a really good job. That was not the color I thought I was holding. At all. That was a terrible shot by virtue of me thinking I had one color. Are you having fun trying to bam? Yeah, there are. Like, I'm not saying there aren't, because yeah, there are. There are a few that are. I don't know which one that is off the top of my head, but is that the one with the like pond thing? That one I hate. I hate it a lot. I sincerely dislike that level. For various reasons. That was... I thought that shot was gonna go worse than it did. Yeah, okay. That's the one I thought it was. I think. I had a feeling it was as soon as you said it. Oh, yes. I know. I died on that the last time I was playing Expert. There's a reason I'm currently playing normal, is so that I have enough lives to get past that on Expert once I get to that on Expert. I don't know which one that is off the top of my head. This is the problem with not playing a game for a couple of months, because other things were taking priority on the schedule. Because now I have to remember the name of the levels off the top of my head. I'm the worst at that. Oh, okay. Thanks, Jim. That didn't... This is going so well. Can't you tell? What? What did I do? What did I supposedly do? That's been there, like, since I started streaming, and if I stole it from anyone, it would be Jacob's. Oh. Oh! Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Never mind. I'm an idiot. I get it now. I'm just slow because I didn't actually read the number because I didn't think it would matter. I was wrong. I see it. I see the joke now. I apologize for being blind. In my defense, though, I was, like, playing the game, which is why I didn't see the point of that. Okay. I'd like... Thank you. I would like the one color that would let me clear that sooner rather than later, game. Perfect. I am indeed an idiot sometimes. I will admit that. Oh, right. I had forgotten that you were thinking about doing that. Okay. I mean, that will fix the you ripping off 1510s, or 1310s. I can't read numbers today. Points. Joke. That will ensure that that is no longer a joke that can be made. This was, like, the worst possible version of this that I've ever done, ever. That was terrible. I did that the worst that I could do. Okay. As soon as we get to the map screen, I'll go punch the points in quick. Yeah, you're not wrong. Oh, that's what you were saying! Crushy, I will be honest, I totally thought that that was just play, you smashing the keyboard because I wasn't playing yet, Kappa. Not, I didn't even get that that was the abbreviation. I am the worst. What was I trying to do? Right. Points, remove, TOH, Nova, 98. Oh, hey, I typed it right. Edit message... 299. Okay, there we go. Sorry, I run a point system where, like some other streamers, you can get loyalty points. There you go, Trickster Bottle. Just for watching the stream and like bits and stuff give you points as well. And then you can spend those points on various incentives that will make me have to do extra in certain games. An example of which that might exist at some point in the near future, I haven't yet decided for sure, is I might make doing Challenge of Horus. I can't speak today, apparently. On top of being unable to read numbers. This is going so well. I might make that a goal with points. Where you can spend points on getting that. That's what that was, that short little... I had to go flip because Trickster wanted to spend some points on one of the goals that I have running. And it's based on a system that some other people that I watch use, but I've modified it at least slightly to do the whole points thing as opposed to... some people just want the broadcaster. Yeah, that's basically what Trickster does. The broadcaster that I got the majority of the idea from just uses his point system. No. Oh my gosh, that would be terrible. I kind of want to do it now. I don't know if it would be Luxor 2 that I would want to do that in. Maybe a more forgiving Luxor. But that was terrible. I didn't even notice that I'd run out of the thing. That sounds both terrible and like it would be amusing to watch, so I might do it at some point. I don't know. But yeah, something like that is what the points go for. But, the difference between me and the guy that I got it, the majority of the idea from is I use loyalty points where just watching the stream will net you some points to go towards that. His is just money. Like, it's based on how much you spend on the stream, not, like, time as well as that. Like, sure, the money, you get a flat rate for spending money on the stream in points, but, if you're active in chat, you earn the amount of that flat rate in an hour and a quarter. You earn $1's worth of, like, the amount of points you get for $1, you earn that in an hour and a quarter if you're active in chat. And if you're not active in chat, you earn it in 2.5. That's just how I have the system running right now. Unless I'm failing at numbers right now, which is possible. I've been having a bit of number trouble today, so I might have forgotten what the actual numbers were in the system, but I've tried to make it fairly even so that, like, I'm not discounting those who are willing to spend money on the stream, but I'm also allowing, or like, everybody who just is only able to watch can have just as much say. That's what I'm trying to do. That's what it is. Words are hard. As we've definitely discovered today. Especially when you are trying to not fail at Luxor 2 while talking. Makes words just a touch difficult. Back. Yeah. We're not going to be doing this too long today. Yeah, that is the slight problem with this, is you get the trolls who just like to throw points around. But, on the other hand, I still think it's fun to be able to have people doing that anyway. Like, it amuses me at minimum, and I think you're amused by it, otherwise you wouldn't do it so much. So, it's amusing. And I don't know if entertaining is the right word, but whatever you want to call it, it fits. Engaging, maybe? Oh? You're being serious. I don't know if you're being serious. This is concerning. Although I should note, this will not be a super long stream, because I do have, well, I may decide, forget the schedule, we're just gonna keep going on this for a bit longer. Oh, you actually want me to throw 2 points towards Mario? You're gonna take the 2 points that you earned in the last 6 minutes and throw it towards Mario, like, a minute after I just, like, put the 98? Thanks, Trickster. I'm not actually doing it right now, but... I don't know what I'm gonna do today. I should probably at least, like, play a bit of Superstar Saga today, but... depends how well this goes. Oh, yeah, this level. Was not my best word. That will be, though. Oh, of course. It despawns right as I actually get it to do anything, is when the net despawns. Lovely! Thanks, game. Oh, yeah, that's another thing that I should probably do soon. I should actually bother to, put the link to Overclocked Remix, which is the site that I get my music from, for free, because they're really nice and awesome. I should put them in my description instead of just having it be, like, on screen in the bot. Because you're supposed to do that! And I might as well, you know, actually do it. Because they're awesome and they deserve it. So, why not? I'm not doing that right now while I'm enjoying the game and others are enjoying the game, and, like, I'm not gonna stop and make the spreadsheet right this second. What is this word search and why does it exist? Like, what is the theme? I don't understand. I'm very confused. You know, that was almost, like, perfect. Although, I can live with that. Oh, why are you doing a pizza-themed word search? Why does that exist? Why is that a theme for a word search? I don't understand. I am confused. That seems like the most random theme ever. I should probably, at some point, I should probably turn up the speed of the scroll on the music. That was not, like, the thing I was trying to do. Why? Why? Who puts oysters on pizza? Not, like, debating whether or not it would be good, because it probably would be, but who does that? I am confused. Oh, it's just a Metroid song. That's cool. Epic Metroid music go. That moved faster than I thought it would. Regrets. That's also a good question. What? They put oysters but not pineapple. No matter your opinion on pineapple on pizza. This is going terribly, by the way. The concept of a Hawaiian pizza is both widespread and, like, generally accepted as a concept whether or not people like it. Which implies pineapple. What? That doesn't make any sense. Also, I need to figure out a way to clean up my on-screen stuff just a bit, because... But not pineapple! Why? Why? What is this word search? It's like the dumbest word search ever. What? I don't understand. And eggplant. Why? Why would you do this? Who has made this affront on the concept of pizza? My mouse went off the game screen and I failed at catching things because of it. That's fine. Why would you make that a concept? I am utterly, like, terrified that this exists. And saddened. This is an assault on the concept of pizza. I don't know. I'm just, like, making a stupid joke. Asparagus! Who puts asparagus on pizza? What is this? This is the dumbest word search ever. I mean, yeah. And if anybody makes fun of mac and cheese pizza, I will hurt them, because it is amazing. And I am genuinely sad at the fact that the CC's, which makes amazing mac and cheese pizza in this town in the States that I used to live, is now closed. And it's sad, because they made really good mac and cheese pizza. They were also the pizza place that, you can basically request whatever you want, even though it's a pizza buffet, and they will make it for you. If it's not already on the buffet. No matter what. It was amazing. And I miss the fact. I mean, yeah, ridiculous things on pizza is not a new concept. You are correct. But... why? Like... the choice of what to put in the word search seems to be really weird and, like, arbitrary. Because there's all this stuff that no one has ever heard of. Okay, I'm gonna take a second and I will go open the picture, and I might even overlay it on stream just because I can. Once I'm done with this level. That was annoyingly terrible. I'm kind of annoyed just because of that. Yeah, true. That's fair. But, like... who goes and when they thinks of pizza, goes... like... this is like that one Family Feud answer that has been clipped on YouTube 1,000 times or something ridiculous. That, there's a lot of those, actually. Where it's just like, the first thing you think of when you think pizza is asparagus or broccoli. It's like, what? It's pizza. Who thinks of that as the first thing when they think of pizza? Or even, like, in the first 10 things. Or however many... However many things are on that worksheet. Like, the first blank. None of them would be asparagus. It's like, what? Why? Why would you think of that when you first think of pizza? And sure, if you, like, okay. If somebody likes that, yeah, okay, I can get that. And, like, has tried it. I could get why that would be the thing on their list. If they thought it was amazing, then okay, yeah, I can't really blame them for thinking of that when they think of pizza. But the chance that whoever made the worksheet is one of those people? I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me. I don't know. I mean, to be fair, I am the guy who has, like, ridiculously small amounts of things on his pizza. In general. As a general rule. I am not a person who gets 1,000 things on pizza. That isn't really going. I get usually ham and mushrooms. We are done here. This is the end of my pizza order. True. I mean, that doesn't sound... Depending on how the carrots are cooked. If they're, like, raw carrots, where they're really hard, yeah, that wouldn't be my thing. But if they're, like, steamed carrots, I could see that tasting good. I mean, that wouldn't be something that I... Artichoke hearts? What? Why? Okay, let me just look at this list. For just a minute. Okay. Artichoke hearts and oysters are the ones that stick out as, like, but why though for me? I mean, yeah, but, yeah, okay, that's fair. That's fair. Let's just go. Let's just go with this level. I mean, according to this word search, yes. I might have seen it at a fancy pizza restaurant, like, once off the top of my head, but according to the random word search Trickster is currently doing, then, yeah, that counts, apparently. I love that this glitch still works! Yeah, I know, right? If you're wondering what glitch I'm talking about, if you lightning the entrance as a new set is coming down, all of the off-screen ones get zapped at once. Because no one bothered actually, like, coding that correctly. Where off-screen things don't get zapped. So, yeah, it makes things easier if you get a lightning right as you're starting. I love that glitch as well. I always, like, feel kind of, haha, somebody didn't code the game right whenever I do it. Which is always fun. Yeah, I mean, fair. Also, bye, Trickster. Really? For one level? Well, wasn't in Luxor 1 there... Oh, that level. I don't know if that's... I don't think it's ever really worked that well for levels that come in from the side. That's what it is, I thought. I thought it was always a lot more, like, either it didn't work or it was much more finicky. Okay. Thank you for making me do more work, Trickster. Goodbye. Thank you for joining us despite the fact that you should have been, like, paying attention and doing your word search in school instead of watching me stream, but whatever. I'll do the point. If I forget about the points and you don't see it done in Discord by end of stream, or by whenever you come back, remind me. Yeah, there's that too. That, can I not, like, fail at life, please? That would be really great. There we go. That's a bit more. It's a bit more not... Yeah. I haven't played all that many mods of this game, but part of that is because I don't believe I ever did a complete playthrough of this game before the one that I'm currently doing. And I like to do... One of the things I like to do when I play a mod is I like to go, how is this different from the original game? Like, I want to be able to see all that they did to make it better. And it's a lot easier to do that when you have the baseline of playing the original game first, to know how the original game plays and, like, what they changed. That's just a personal preference for me. Yeah. I know that making mods like this, of games like this, and any other games, take a lot of work. And I want to be able to admire that work, and, like, give the proper kudos of what they actually did, even if it's not plainly obvious. So, having knowledge of how the base game works is kind of important for something like that to work. That was a lot of the word work in, like, one sentence. Oops. Thank you for the collarbone that's utterly useless, but at least you're better than Luxor 1 at giving me stuff that's utterly useless. Oh, really? Okay. Like, a lot of those gameplay tweaks are a lot, like, physics stuff. Is a lot more subtle and a lot harder to know. Especially if you don't know fairly well how the base game's physics run. Or whatever you're using as a lot of the gameplay stuff is a lot more subtle. And so it's hard to truly, like, admire a mod, even no matter how basic, if you don't know what it started on. For example, some of the flaws in Luxor 1 that, like, become painfully obvious when you've played Luxor 1, I wouldn't know whether to blame that on Luxor 1 or on a mod if I hadn't played Luxor 1. That kind of thing. Okay. Yeah, there's a bit of that. And I do agree. On the other hand, for a first version of the engine, it does really well. And sometimes I will enjoy just pulling it out and messing with it, despite... regrets. A terrible failure. Like, despite the fact that it's not really different from what it was the first time I played it. Just because the engine nails it. Yeah. Yeah. Failure. Terrible failure. Speaking of things that technical stuff that Luxor games do really well. This game, Luxor 2. It is running in full screen at the full resolution of my monitor in 2019. I used to say this in 2018 back when I was playing this a bit more regularly. It runs at my ridiculous... This monitor is 5.4, 5:4, not 4.3, which is the normal for older stuff, and not 16.9, which is like normal TV size nowadays, flat screens. This is a really weird resolution for a game to run at, and this game handles it and handles it well, despite the fact that it was made in 2006. That is somewhat impressive, that this game can handle weird, like, setups that never would have been dreamed of before, like, 2010 or something. Despite the fact that it was made way before that, and it still, like, handles it at least mostly well. Sure, there are a couple moments where the game stutters a bit. Yeah. Or something like that, but it's running at full resolution. It's, like... Yeah, there's a bit of that. On the other hand, who doesn't really, like, reuse engines and, like, bases for games these days? Everybody does it because recoding an entire engine for a similar game would take a really long time. I can't even give a number. And people don't want to wait that long. Okay, this is not the greatest of starts. And sure, there have been instances of engines with game-breaking glitches that are inherited across games. But they nailed the engine fairly well, with a couple of fairly minor exceptions in terms of glitches in Luxor 1. The only major issue with the engine in Luxor 1 that I can think of off the top of my head is and major is relative in this case, would be the whole lightning glitch thing. Which, in the grand scheme of things, that's not that big of a deal. I might be missing one because I haven't been... Oh yeah, that one. Okay, that's a fairly major issue. I remember that one now. That... Okay, game. I kind of dislike you just for that. That's fair enough. But usually those things get, like, ironed out in the next release or whatever, and it's not in this game, which, I mean, is the point. As long as they bother checking and fixing bugs between versions, like between games that run on the same engine, and if possible, and back when Luxor was, back when this was released, it wasn't really as big of a possibility to do patches and stuff than it is now when everything runs on, like, Steam, where there's an update system, that kind of thing. As long as they patch that stuff when they can, and they, like, fix it between games. Oh, I mean, that works. It's one way to fix it. But as long as they do the necessary fixes between games for engines like that, I can't really be mad at them for using basic engines, provided there's like upgrades and stuff between versions. Obviously, it can't just be... It's the same... It can't be Luxor 1 and Luxor AR levels of, like, milking it, where it's literally the same game, but with different levels. Because that's what Luxor AR was. The engine was, like, there were little to no tweaks in the engine there. I mean... Plus side, they didn't call it Luxor 2. They didn't try to sell it as the next level of Luxor. So, I mean... Giving them that. Yeah, basically. That's essentially what AR was. Also true. Scorpion has issues. But the thing that provided they do the necessary maintenance on the engines and upgrades to, like, match modern day tech and all of that as computers themselves evolve, I can't really be mad at them for reusing engines and stuff like that. Also known as Don't Be Bethesda. That's basically what I'm saying. Casually making jokes at Bethesda because they continue releasing games on engines where they haven't, like, bothered fixing them, which means that the games all have the same bugs, and it's slightly ridiculous at this point. And it's like, guys! What's worse is there have been occasional instances... Yeah, it really is. There have been occasional instances of them fixing a bug in a patch of one game, and then coming out the next year with a new game running on the same engine that still has that bug in it. That was not the right color at all. That still has the same bug in it from the last one that they patched out. And it's like, okay, if it's an engine bug, then moving the patch between one game and another is not that hard, unless you are terrible at coding, like, an engine that is able to be easily shared across games, which is the point of it being an engine and not just, like, game code, is so that it's easily reusable. And if you can't code that right, then come on, guys. It's just, what are you doing with your lives? Why did you code an engine in a way where you can't easily move? Yeah, which is just like, okay, that's not how this works, guys. Yeah, exactly. It can only hold up for so long before it becomes obvious that you're milking the fact that your games have a modding community to not bother doing your job. Like, it is your job to make the game. And if you cannot make a game that does not have various issues in it, then you have failed. If you need modders to make the game playable, like, at bare bones playable, you have failed as a developer. That's just how it works. Take Minecraft, or even this. Like, this works as a game by itself. Minecraft works as a game in vanilla, even without Oh, yeah, that's even worse. That's even more dumb, which is saying something. any of those examples I just mentioned, the game runs fine, and you can play it and enjoy it, as I am currently doing with this game now, without installing any kind of mod. Did I do the thing? Totally did, didn't I? I did. Awesome. I always have fun doing that. Now, that's not saying the mods can't add to the experience, as that is the point of mods. But the game being almost unplayable without mods is unacceptable from a have you failed as what you were supposed to do as a developer point of view. Which is kind of sad that we have reached the point where one of the big name developers continually fails to be a good developer. It's just kind of sad. And yet, some people still see it as acceptable because it's Bethesda. That's part of how Bethesda games work. It's like, that's not selling a game, though. You're selling a half-finished, like, a prototype as the official product. It's like, but that's not a... What? Yeah, exactly. You'd think that people wouldn't be as accepting of this, but... Yeah. And to be fair, if it happened like once or twice, and then they fixed the problem and it never happened again, or like they got better, they showed noticeable improvement, then yeah, okay. Like, people make mistakes, that's how life works. Cool, I'm not gonna get on their back about it. But it's constant. It hasn't changed. That's exactly, that's the thing, is it's gotten worse, if anything, in terms of the amount of bugs in new Bethesda releases. That's the bad example of engines in my book, and reusing them, is when you don't bother doing the necessary, like, bug fixes and maintenance on the engine itself, so that when you use it as a base for your next game, you have improvements based on bugs in previous games. That's one of the reasons you use engines in the first place. And so the fact that they somehow managed to have bugs from previous games that were engine level that did not get fixed before the next game on the... Yeah, that. There's a lot of that. Although part of my problem with Bethesda is some of their games, it's fairly obvious that they didn't. They just didn't bother putting the resources into improving the engine. And so even when they fixed a bug in a game that ran on the engine, they didn't make sure to let those engine changes affect any other games in development. And it's like, what? That's the point of an engine, is so that if you fix one thing, it fixes other things in other games because it's shared code. That is the point. And the fact that they don't do it right is like, what? Why are you using something called an engine? Like, why did you make Source Engine if you're not actually going to use it properly as an engine? Where you can, like, port the fixes between games fairly simply because, like, that's the point of shared code. They just don't bother maintaining the shared code. It's just like, what? How does that work? That's the frustration I have with Bethesda, is several of their decisions make no sense from any standpoint. Yeah, I mean, true. And Bethesda is doing a very good job of being that at this point in time. But it's just... I mean, Valve as a game developer is also kind of doing that in a different way. What not to do? Start a series and then don't bother finishing it ever. It's a fairly good what not to do. Start a story a series that has a story. Where it's obviously unfinished. Yeah, I have a few of those as well. That's fair. That's where I'm terrible at times at actually finishing projects, which is frustrating. Yeah, that. I have several things that are that right now, which is kind of annoying. Namely, I'm working on a new chatbot, both for my stream and just in general, to be used for basically everything that has kind of stalled right now. I have issues with focus, where sometimes getting my brain to focus on something and not get distracted by the internet in some form is super hard. And, well, basically doesn't happen a lot of the time. I just always get distracted, and I cannot pull myself back to whatever I'm trying to work on. Which is unfortunate. And annoying, and makes things take... Yeah, there is that. What time is it? Oh, okay. We're doing fine. Trying to figure out exactly what I'm going to do for the rest of the day. I think I'm leaning towards wrap this up in like half an hour, 45 minutes, and then go eat so that I can like do the regular schedule stream that's supposed to be happening later of Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga, which is a game I have been enjoying a lot. I just casually missed catching it, that's fine. I didn't want to catch that anyway. But the thing I'm trying to do with Cypher, and one of the reasons why it's taking so long, thank you, Hydrate, for actually being on time. Yeah, Superstar Saga. What do you mean which one? The first one. The one on the GBA. I don't know if there's a, like, port or whatever, but... The one on the Game Boy Advance. That's the one I'm currently playing. GBA. Old school one. Starting at the beginning. It's one of the series that has been running. And, thanks to one of my regulars, the moment I put up the goal on the Discord saying how many points it took to lock in 100% so that I have to do every single collectible in that game, he hit the button. And so I have to do every single collectible in that game, which is kind of a bit nuts, but it should be fun anyway. And I have been enjoying it a lot, so... It's one of the things that I didn't get a chance to do much for various reasons, whether it was distractions or... Thank you, I think I will need it. Whether it was distractions or, like, schoolwork or whatever, is I didn't get much time for a lot of the old school games. And so I'm rectifying that now that I've started streaming, is I've been playing a lot of those old school games. And enjoying them a lot, because they're really fun. But, I don't even remember what I was talking about. Oh, Cypher. One of the things that I've noticed about a lot of chatbots, whether they're Twitch or whether they're like just regular chatbots for Discord, is they're always for one platform. So they only work on Discord or for, I don't know, Telegram or Skype or whatever. One and none of the others. Which, I mean, yeah, I get why, because it's difficult to do stuff like that. And it takes a lot of, like, coordination to figure out how exactly it should work on each platform compared to the others. But on the other hand, you have a few people who probably are just like, I have a Discord, and I have a Twitch channel, and I have, I don't know, a Skype group or something, I don't know, Telegram, whatever. And I want this bot to run on all of it. And to be able to do the same, or at least very similar functions on all of those platforms at once. And so I have attempted to, I'm currently attempting to build a bot that will be able to do that. Which is a very big project, to say the least. But I've been enjoying it, and part of the things I'm trying to do with it is, yeah, and it's not going to be a small project by any stretch of the imagination, but I wanted to make it, and I think I've been doing fairly well at making it so that it is fairly easy for people who code the plugins, like new commands and stuff, to make the bot able to do more stuff. Make it easy for them to code new things, and make it easy for those things to work on every available service. So, like, all of them at once. So that you don't have to sit there and code, for example, a follower thing. How long has blank been following the channel? Command 5 times for 5 different platforms. You can code it once and be done with it. Stuff like that. That's what I'm hoping to achieve. Because, for example, my current bot, yeah, it's going to take a long while, but I hope it ends up worth it. Or I think it will end up worth it just for me, but even if no one else uses it, but... And it's been fun learning how to do that kind of thing. But, for example, the current chatbot I use only supports running commands in one channel on Discord. It won't let you run a command in any other channel. Which is, like, not stupid bad, but it's annoying. Because I don't want to have to switch to the bot commands channel to pull up a quote from QuoteBot, or whatever, because that's dumb. Sure, having an option to make it only listen to commands or certain commands in certain channels, yeah, okay, that's fine. Like, I can get people who would want to limit it like that. However, forcing it? Not having the other option at all? Kinda dumb, in my opinion. And yeah, I know, this is a very big and ambitious project. Trust me, I know. The amount of various, like, systems that have to work together for this to work, like, smoothly and well is going to be ridiculous, and has already been ridiculous for the small portion that is done. But I think it will be worth it. At least hopefully. And the hope is that it wouldn't just mean, yeah, agreed. The hope is that eventually you would get to the point where other people would, like, see it and want to either A, code plugins for it, or B, use it themselves. That would be the hope. And I've also been trying to build it in a way where coding a new service, support for a new service, like right now there isn't Skype support or kind of Twitch. There's kind of Twitch support. If you've heard of IRC, which is a really old chat protocol, a really old like text chat thing from ages ago, it has support for that. But Twitch has a lot of stuff built on top of that that is only used by Twitch and that like breaks everything else. So Twitch support is kind of in that group. But oh, great, this level. But give me a second while I completely lose my train of thought. That's always fun. I love when that happens. I've tried to build it so that at least adding basic support to a new service should be fairly easy. And that basic support is basically getting it to process messages. As soon as it can process messages and like get message text out of those messages, it should immediately be able to process the most basic of commands. Done. Because of how the system, like even right now, it doesn't have support for much, but what it does have is basic command support, where the only thing that you have to code into the specific service is you have to code how to take a message text out of like the service and then pass it into the main bot core. And then the main bot core will handle basics of commands and stuff like that for you. We'll handle like parsing that into, is it a command? Yes. What command is it? Let me throw that at the right like plugin code. All that kind of thing is handled by the bot already, provided it knows what a message is, like what text comes out of a message just in like plain text. Which I'm proud of that. I'll be slightly honest. I'm proud of my basic like main core code being how it is. And I think there may need to be tweaks to it, but on the other hand, when does there not need to be tweaks and stuff like that? But I think it is a very good start to build everything else off of. I've actually, well, at the moment the server that it was running on is currently broken for various reasons, but it was running a very simple relay between Discord, Telegram, and IRC in my Discord for ages. And it was doing really well. Like, it was recovering fairly well from disconnects. There are a couple of issues with it, and part of that was one of the framework that I used to handle connecting and like talking to IRC specifically has some core problems that I cannot solve at the moment. Namely, if it disconnects for basically any reason, that framework code is terrible at like processing it in a way that I can then like use to trigger a reconnect. And so IRC disconnects a bit, but everything else has worked. And I've been planning on moving that to a different framework to run IRC. And probably like forking making a custom version just for me of that framework that would have fixes. Obviously, I would give the fixes of anything that would be like usable to everyone, not just me and the bot, back to the developers of that open source code. But like so that everybody else can use it. Because I'm not gonna not. But it would be nice having a custom version. Partly because then I can build the custom Twitch stuff that has to be built on top of it because Twitch is stupidly complicated to do with chat and like get subscription messages and stuff. It's so... the Twitch is somewhat complicated when it comes to that. Which is going to be annoying, but that's just how that works. Why? Why is this music a thing that exists? I'm not gonna skip it because I don't feel like going and opening my music player just to skip this one random song, but I have concerns. But yeah, even like finishing smaller portions of the bot so far is super satisfying, and having it all running. I know, right? It is hilariously unfitting. Welcome back, Trickster, to being the Discord bot, for no apparent reason. Goodbye again. Oh, you're leaving already. You came just to run the Discord command and leave. Of course you did. This music is hilarious. Especially if you, like, mentally compare it to the game music at this point. Especially since I'm close to dying. It's just so not even close. It's hilarious. I love it. Okay. Suddenly the music changes. And is a bit more fitting. Good. I have like, I don't know how many. I think it's like 3,000 or something is how much is currently running in the music system. Various video game remixes that like it's shuffling through. That are all free to like download and play infinitely, which is awesome. And also free to use as like background music for streams without getting copyrighted, which is also awesome. There's a reason whenever I can, I throw a bit of a mention in their direction, is because it's all... the vast majority of it is great music in all kinds of genres that is free to download and use and play. It's great. Provided, like, if you're doing it in a streaming or YouTube environment, you do have to, like, give the proper credits and stuff. But having it on screen over, like, over my shirt counts. But yeah. I do have a lot of work to do before Cypher would be anywhere near ready to, like, fully. Especially as a Twitch chatbot. Because I would have to finish coding the core and then code the plugins on top of it, which the plugins themselves will take a while, and there's a whole boatload of stuff core related that still needs to be either mentally planned out and designed, or this is another bit of a music tone dissonance with the game. That was not my best work. Like, that was terrible. There's a whole bunch of things that need to get done core-wise before I want to build plugins on it, because, or at least a lot of plugins. The stuff I'd use on stream. Mainly because if I coded them now, before core was done, the likelihood is that they would probably like get rewritten several times as I continued coding core, because I still have several design decisions I need to make about how I'm going to design the core systems that haven't been built yet. You have to that's one of the things that I didn't expect to be doing as much as I have been with the project, is I'm having to make a lot more, how do I want to design this both on my side of the code and on anyone making plugin side of the code. There's been a lot more of that than I had thought there would be. And how can I design it in the best way possible? Like, that makes the most sense to me, that makes the most sense to others, that makes the... There's been a lot of that, and it's been a very interesting process. But it's also been a bit challenging. I didn't even notice that was the color bomb after I had clicked it. Oops. Okay, actually. I'm gonna turn the music up just a bit. Because it's a bit low and it was annoying me. I couldn't hear it. Also, hello and welcome back to Musical versus Game Dissonance. We're back to songs that, like, don't fit at all, and it's somewhat funny. This is one of the benefits of random music versus the game music, is you get funny moments like this. Which is, yeah, agreed. It is funny. A total agreement there. Yup. It's perfect. What do we have now? What does it come up with? I can't actually see. Right this second. Partly because I'm playing the game, and partly because it scrolls super slow. Oh, Sonic music! Okay. Rather interesting Sonic music at that. Sure. Especially comparing that with the noises the game is making from, like, sound effects. It's so perfect, and I love it so much. I mean, it's perfectly, like, the opposite of perfect, but whatever. Checking emails and stuff to make sure I'm not missing anything I have to pay attention to now. Because this is not normal stream time, so... There could be instances of somebody needing me to do something that I should probably do now. And that they would expect me to be available, because this is bonus. So that hasn't happened. Thank goodness for that. But it's not an impossibility, which means I should be paying more attention than I usually do. My usual method of dealing with stuff like that is called... I am streaming. If anyone wants to get my attention, they have to come in stream chat, because I'm streaming, I'm not going to actually pay attention to my phone that much. This was on schedule, like, if it's a scheduled stream at least. It was on the schedule. There's an actual schedule that you could have looked at and you would have known that I was live. You could have opened Twitch, that kind of thing. And so, if you want me to respond, well, I'm sorry. But you're gonna have to come hunt me down in some way that will actually cause it to flash on one of my screens here, as opposed to just the phone, because I'm terrible at looking at the phone sometimes. At least when I'm busy. That was so not what I wanted to do. We have the continued perfect danger music of, like, super chill. That was, like, so not the thing I was trying to do, but okay. I might turn it up just a bit. Because it is a touch quiet. Although, I should ask, how is it compared to my voice? Because it might just mean I need to turn sound effects down just a touch. As opposed to the music up one. That's something I should check, because I can't hear my mic in my headphones for a couple of reasons. One being there's a slight delay, caused by my audio system being, like, the best it can be, but the improvements add a touch of delay for making it sound infinitely better than not having the improvements. It's a trade-off, but one that I deal with. Although, there are ways of having these improvements without adding the delay. It's just money. And also, like, lack of the ability to get any of that stuff right now. Downside of living in Guatemala. I don't know off the top of my head, but the mail system either currently doesn't exist or is not reliable. If it does exist, it's not reliable. But it might not be running right now. I don't know off the top of my head. Because I know it closed down at one point last year, I think? But I don't know if it's reopened in any capacity since. But it's not super trustworthy. And, you know, international shipping's terrible anyway. So, trying to ship stuff like expensive audio equipment is not the best of plans in the world. Which, we have solutions to that. We have friends that occasionally come down to visit, and when they do, we usually ask them to bring a couple things in their luggage. Because, for the most part, if you're bringing it down in your luggage, and it's, like, not something that's against the rules, for whatever reason, you're playing, then no one cares. And it's definitely safe. That's how we've always done it. And that's how I got any of my stuff here, was either in our suitcases or other people's suitcases. The Grim... what? What is Memblers? I'm slightly curious, because I'm amused by the music choice now. I can always get down... I can always agree with a bit of epic, like, bad guy organ going on. Speaking of epic bad guy organ, what we played on... we've been doing Blind Ocarina of Time, which we beat Ganon the first time on Saturday? Well, we beat Ganon on Saturday, so it's no longer blind, but I have to do 100% because there was a goal for that got, like, smashed. So, I have to do that, which is kind of unfortunate, but just how it goes. Okay, I'm just gonna do this. Problem solved! But when we got to the final boss, if you've played that game, the organ music on the climb up to his actual, like, throne room or whatever is amazing, and I love it. That was fun to just, like, sit there and listen to for a moment. Take a moment instead of continuing to go for the final boss and just sit and listen to that. I'm the worst at these bonus games! Ugh! Although part of that is I just eventually stopped trying because... Well, partly because I'm talking. Trying to do bonus puzzle game things when talking is always not been something I'm good at. Here we go. Perfect. 10 out of 10. I don't care. Stage complete. Lovely. How far are we? Oh, yeah. I think we're not... No, we're like halfway through normal difficulty, and then I want to finish expert. I want to actually... That's why I'm doing this, is so I can build up on normal, so that I can build up lives to hopefully get past 10-1, 10-4. The one that we talked about earlier that I've already forgotten the number of on expert. That's the goal, is to have enough lives to survive that. So that I can beat expert. Without having to, like, restart again. And hopefully, maybe build up enough lives to survive Challenge of Horus if I end up having to do that. It would be kind of annoying, but it could happen. Didn't go on. Now I have to figure out what to do. This is the one thing I always occasionally have issues with more chill stuff like this, where there's less to talk about game-wise, is sometimes I'm just a failure at thinking of topics that are interesting and, like, something to actually talk about. There's a reason that I stream and don't do YouTube despite my terrible internet connection. That would be probably easier to just do YouTube with, because, like, not live, so. Sure, uploading an hour-long video would take, like, literally almost a day or something ridiculous, because my internet is so terrible, but it would be in better quality. But, I don't feel like I could keep myself talking that long. I need the interactivity of chat and that kind of thing to help, like, provide topics or, like, make it interesting both for me and for others. Which, that's why I made the choice I did, as much as it was probably the more difficult to do choice overall. Because of terrible internet. Yeah, I also try to be interesting somewhat. I just feel like if I didn't have at least one other person or something there, like, talking to me, that A, I would be boring to watch, and so no one would watch. Like, if it was just YouTube. If it wasn't live. And B, I would be bored myself, because part of the talking helps keep me interested as well, both in the game and the concept of, like, streaming or whatever. But that's just how I work, because sometimes I need a bit extra to be engaged, where I will keep at it and be interested. Especially to be engaged past, like, my very short-term attention span. Agreed. And I already did do easy, just as a life builder. That was the thing that took a bit, but that didn't go well. Whatever. It's fine. I'm almost halfway through normal. Part of the reason this is taken so long is I realized I was pushing myself too hard by having all 7 days a week be scheduled streams. Yeah, exactly. I didn't need them too much getting to 10-4, but then we hit 10-4 and the death counter above my head went from approximately, like, I don't know off the top of my head, but probably less than 5. It went from probably less than 5 to significantly more than 5 to 28. I might have lost one life on easy somewhere. I don't know. Either way, it went from basically very little to a lot, as noted by the count being 28 above my head. Yeah. I lost all the lives I had built up from the entire expert run up to 10-4, where I think I might have lost 1 or 2. And I went from all of that to none. And it was like, oh, okay, well, I guess I need the lives. Well, let's go do everything else again. I actually like the random music for this game more than... I think it gives it a more of a relaxing vibe, despite the fact that the music isn't always like relaxing. But it gives it a more relaxed state, which is kind of what I want out of the Luxor streams. Because I'll be honest, I like Luxor, you like Luxor. But not everybody likes this kind of game, and not everybody finds it entertaining. So I've been kind of dual marketing, I guess you could say, these as not just Luxor, but also like chill chat. Like, I hang out with chat and pay more attention to chat than I might during some other game that has a lot more story or whatever. I don't know what to call it, but that kind of thing. Yeah, exactly. It's kind of obscure, and so I've been trying to give it more value for those that, like, may not be into this genre. By making it more of a chill, relax kind of stream, where you can just, like, hang out in chat, and I'll be watching chat fairly closely, because I don't have to spend as much brain power playing this as I might playing, I don't know, Ocarina of Time even. Like, I can glance over at chat a lot more often as I'm playing without having to take a second, pause the game, or just sit there for a moment and read chat. That kind of thing. So I've been, like, going at it from multiple angles where it's meant to be a more... like, not only me playing this game, but also anybody who wants to come and just hang out for a while can come and hang out for a while and just chat with me or whatever. And not saying that I don't pay attention to chat normally, because obviously I do, that's why I do streaming, but I'm able to, like, keep a conversation going a bit more without the game mattering as much if I, like, get slightly distracted and miss a shot or something like that. Speaking of not Luxor streams, or people that might be interested in not Luxor streams, I should probably point out, as I'm probably getting a bit close to wrapping up because I need to eat lunch before I start Mario Mondays at 2 p.m., that Mario Mondays exist. And the current Mario Mondays game is Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga for the Game Boy Advance, the old retro one. And that will be starting up in, like, I don't know, 35 minutes? And so I'm probably going to wrap up after this level, just because I should do that. So, if you want to check that out, feel free. If you don't, that's fine too, or you don't have time, whatever. That's fine. Currently, I don't do Luxor on a regular basis, which is unfortunate, I know, but I am planning on running a lot more not scheduled streams, which I like to call bonus streams, whenever I can, than I have been recently. There's been a long break of not really doing bonus stuff as much. That's cool. So, I don't know when the next Luxor stream will be, or, like, what time of day even, but I'm probably going to try and do one sometime this week, just because this has been fun. Just hanging out and being relaxed, just chatting, not really caring about progress or the game that much. It's kind of the point of these. But, yes, I know, I'm a sweeper of the granaries. Can we get back to the menu so that I can click save and quit? Please. Thank you, game. I appreciate it. Let me go over here and do this. And say thank you all for watching as is currently flashing above me. I hope you enjoyed. If you did and you'd like to check out... Oh no, that's gonna be terrible. It's gonna take a bit to get there just because I am the worst. But that will probably be terrible. Thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, follow button to get notified when I go live through Twitch, or join the Discord, which also notifies you if you are online. The bot is fairly reliable. Thank you all for watching. I'm gonna go eat some lunch. You can also join the Discord if you want to hang out with us when I'm not live. That's where we hang out. And also where I give the most reliable updates on stream times and bonus streams and changes and all of that. I will be back in approximately 34 minutes. Depending on how long lunch takes and how long I get lazy for, and hopefully I will be back on time. We're just gonna go with that. 2 p.m. Central for Mario Monday Superstar Saga. I don't even know where we are in that game right now. But we're somewhere. I've been enjoying that a lot. I've been enjoying this a lot. Thank you. Bye-bye. I'll see you then.